Hello, and welcome back to Director's Choice, the channel where we explore the most iconic moments in cinema history. In this episode, we'll be taking a deep dive into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and examining the most memorable events in its history. From Iron Man to Avengers Endgame, we'll be exploring the scenes that define the franchise and made us fall in love with these beloved characters. Iron Man reveals himself as Iron Man in the final scene of Iron Man. Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr., holds a press conference and shocks the world by revealing that he is the superhero Iron Man, rather than keeping his identity a secret.
I am Iron Man.
This moment marks a departure from the comic book trope of secret identities, and sets up Tony Stark as a unique and charismatic superhero. Nick Fury appears in Tony Stark's house to talk about the Avengers Initiative in a post-credits scene of Iron Man. This moment marked the beginning of the interconnected Marvel Cinematic Universe and set up the groundwork for the epic crossover events to come. Thor's hammer Mjolnir is destroyed by Hela in Thor Ragnarok. Hela, played by Cate Blanchett, destroys Thor's hammer Mjolnir, stripping him of his most iconic weapon and setting up his character arc of rediscovering his power and purpose without it. The Battle of New York in the Avengers, the superhero team comes together to battle an alien invasion led by Loki, played by Tom Hiddleston, culminating in the iconic Battle of New York. This moment marks the first time multiple superheroes appeared on screen together and laid the foundation for future crossover events. Captain America vs. the Winter Soldier on the streets of Washington, D.C. In Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Steve Rogers, played by Chris Evans, faces off against his old friend turned enemy, Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier, played by Sebastian Stan, in a brutal fight scene on the streets of Washington, D.C. This moment deepens the emotional stakes of the Captain America franchise and sets up the complicated relationship between Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes. The airport battle in Leipzig, Hal and Captain America, Civil War. The Avengers are divided into two factions and engage in a massive fight at Leipzig, Hal Airport. This moment is one of the biggest action set pieces in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and marks a turning point in the Avengers' relationship with each other. Thor and Hulk's gladiatorial battle on Sakaar. In Thor Ragnarok, Thor and Hulk, played by Mark Ruffalo, are forced to fight each other in a gladiatorial battle on the planet Sakaar. This moment is a fun and thrilling spectacle that deepens the characters' relationships and sets up Hulk's character arc in the film. Tony Stark's funeral in Avengers Endgame. The surviving heroes mourn the death of Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr., who sacrificed himself to defeat Thanos. This moment is an emotional gut punch that marks the end of an era for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Guardians of the Galaxy dance off with Ronan the Accuser. In Guardians of the Galaxy, the titular team faces off against Ronan the Accuser, played by Lee Pace, in an epic battle that ends with a dance-off. This moment is a hilarious and unexpected twist on the superhero genre that showcases the film's unique tone and style. The reveal of Thanos in the Avengers post-credits scene. In a post-credits scene of the Avengers, Thanos, played by Josh Brolin, is revealed as the true villain behind the events of the movie, setting up his larger role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This moment marked the beginning of the build-up to the Infinity Saga, which culminated in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Lokis Sacrifice and Death. In Avengers Infinity War, Tom Hiddleston's Loki sacrifices himself in an attempt to stop Thanos, but ultimately fails and is killed. This moment is a shocking and emotional moment that sets the tone for the film and marks the first major death of a beloved character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all" line in Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 2. Yondu, played by Michael Rooker, uses a makeshift parachute to descend from a spaceship, and Peter Quill, played by Chris Pratt, compares him to Mary Poppins, to which Yondu replies, "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all." This moment is a funny and memorable exchange that showcases the film's unique humor and tone. Black Panther's coronation ceremony and battle with Killmonger. In Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa becomes king of Wakanda after his father's death and is challenged by Eric Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan, who has a claim to the throne and seeks to use Wakanda's resources to help oppressed black people around the world. This moment marks the climax of the film's themes of identity, heritage, and responsibility. The snap in Avengers Infinity War, Thanos snaps his fingers while wielding the Infinity Gauntlet and erases half of all life in the universe, including many of the beloved Marvel Cinematic Universe characters. This moment is a shocking and devastating twist that sets up the high stakes for Avengers Endgame. Captain America wields Mjolnir in Avengers Endgame during the final battle against Thanos and his army. Captain America picks up Thor's hammer Mjolnir and uses it to fight, proving himself worthy of the power of the gods. This moment is a thrilling and iconic moment that pays off years of setup and deepens Captain America's character. The portals seen in the climax of Avengers Endgame, the surviving heroes, who had been lost and separated after the snap, are brought back by the heroes who survived and arrived through portals to join the final battle against Thanos and his army. This moment is a grand and epic spectacle that pays off years of buildup and delivers an emotional payoff for the characters and the audience. SpiderMan's Death in Avengers Infinity War, Tom Holland's Spider-Man disintegrates into dust as a result of Thanos' snap, leaving his mentor Tony Stark devastated. This moment is a heartbreaking and emotionally impactful scene that marks the end of Spider-Man's journey in the film and sets up the emotional stakes for Avengers Endgame. The first appearance of the Infinity Stones in Thor, the Tesseract is introduced as a mysterious artifact of immense power, later revealed to be an Infinity Stone, setting up their importance and appearance throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This moment marks the beginning of the Infinity Saga and the long build-up to the events of Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter's dance in a touching scene at the end of Captain America, the first Avenger. Steve Rogers, played by Chris Evans, shares a dance with his love interest Peggy Carter, played by Haley Atwell, before he is frozen and sent into the future, setting up his role as a man out of time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This moment is a poignant and emotional ending to the film and sets up one of the key themes of the Captain America franchise. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has become one of the biggest cinematic phenomena in recent times, breaking box office records and capturing the hearts of millions of fans worldwide. It all started with the release of Iron Man in 2008, and over the years, it has expanded to include more than 20 movies, several TV series, and an army of beloved characters. The MCU's success can be attributed to several factors, including the expertly crafted storylines, the engaging characters, and the iconic moments that have become a part of popular culture. In this episode of Director's Choice, we explored some of the most memorable moments in the MCU's history, from Iron Man to Avengers Endgame. And there you have it, the most iconic moments in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Which moment is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Director's Choice for more deep dives into the most iconic moments in cinema history.